Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This time we've got Battle for Asgard here, which is our North American tournament, and we've got Arena Mains on the Order side versus Alter Ego on the Chaos side. And I'm still here, learning Army with a pal Vengeance.
What's going on, everybody?
We also are missing the picks and bans for this game as well, but just to briefly go over them again, we've got Cerberus support with an ADC Ram with Ardio in the solo lane, Ramen in the jungle, and Thoth in the mid lane. While on the other side, we've got Terra support, Hoyi ADC, Sobek solo, Camazot's jungle, and Uller in the middle lane. Surprise, surprise, we're not seeing a mage in the middle lane for once, and right now we are seeing Empty Sword being a little riskier and proxy farming that mid wave, while Thoth and Ramen are just happy to take on that speed buff by themselves.
Yeah, and even though that seemed very risky, they did have a ward up by the speed buff of Arena Main, so that was pretty free. If they decided they wanted to get aggressive, he could just walk away. But as we see here, Catalyst going for these left side Harpies, getting one, and FT Sword just going to clean up the other here.
Interesting start here. High Catalyst going straight from speed to the mid camp, so right on the backhand side. Sneaky is level 2. He's going to be putting a ton of damage. Excellent axe there from the FT Sword. And FT Sword is going to take Catalyst down for first blood.
Yeah, and at first, it wasn't looking like that good of a start.
Cameron on this left-hand side, taking a ton of damage. Terra Walls on the mark, but the beads were popped, but Yukanayame able to find that last auto attack on the Hoyi. Excellent walls there coming out from Soul to grab that second kill for Alter Ego.
I don't know. That was just like Catalyst falling was just like the green light go for Alter Ego all of a sudden, just taking two down very quickly. And this is a very interesting start for Arena Mains, falling behind already, even though they were looking like their overall team XP was going to be ahead because Sword started immediately in middle. These kills coming out early for them is just big.
Kinda in this duo lane, almost getting the nice double bounce on the I'm Just Toasty, but Catalyst is making the rotation here. Though he did take a fall before, and he might be able to catch Soul and Yukana out of position here. Soul gets stacked, sprint is popped, and a nice crotch shred is almost going to be enough. No dash coming out for the Terra right now. Who's going to net Cameron 27 a kill.
Yeah, and that's just good for Catalyst coming back. He gets the assist on the kill, giving himself a little more XP. He's not able to find anything on the way back, but he's at least able to kind of help his team get back in and take away that pressure that was in duo lane.
So we kind of talked about this before, but why are we seeing an Uller here in the mid lane instead of a traditional mage? Why, what's with the hunters again all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure the preference that's coming out here for this, but I do know that a lot of people have been liking Uller in the mid lane. Seems a little risky, and honestly, it is, but he does have that early damage that does allow him to clear. Yes, it's Toth, but I mean, Toth's clear is going to take a little longer to come online than Uller's.
Just taking a look at the jungle here, we are starting to see a bit of a level lead coming out from Sneaky on the side of Alter Ego. He is sitting 2 levels ahead here, actually the first to level 5 on the map. And it looks like he wants to take this rotation over to the dual lane, but he is just going to steal away their own farm from the dual laners themselves. But you know what? It's netting Sneaky Elite, so it's gonna work. But why do you think we see him doing these buffs instead of giving them to the dual laners to do themselves?
Really, at this point, they were pushed up far, and if he wants to look for an immediate gank, it gives him some XP. So if he comes over and nothing happens, it's not a complete waste for him as a jungler. And then, speaking of gank, we have Soul going in with the Terra onto Toasty, and Sneaky finishing him off. And that just goes with what I was saying. He's getting the XP. He was able to come up. He's now level 6. He's the only one there. It's 4 minutes in, and he's that high of a level already. He's been constantly farming. They got the invade on the red buff earlier, plus the kill, and now he's just seeing himself grow. He's already about to have his Assassin's Blessing fully stacked. He's only 6 away from that, whereas Catalyst is only at 26. So, especially playing Kamizots, the further his lead gets, I mean, he's going to be deadly very quickly.
That is the case, and going for that Blink Relic has certainly paid off in, right now, especially since he was able to get FT Sword that first blood kill at the enemy's red buff at that first minute or so in. But talk to me a bit about the Kamizots in general. Like, what is he bringing to these fights? Because we all know that he doesn't have really any CC, but what does he do?
Whatever CC he doesn't have that other assassins may have, he makes up in his burst damage. Between the combination of his 1 and his 2, which giving him the streak that if he catches it coming back, empowers him against that god, and his 2 just giving him the sustain plus the extra damage over time. I mean, it's a great way for him to fight, get hurt, but then heal back up to re-continue the fight. And it's a really good engage factor, especially with that.
Hold that thought though, on this left-hand side, we see Soul trying to go in and find a little bit of a cheeky engage here. Sprint is tough on both sides, and Toasty's not done, but great stun there from Soul is going to be on the mark, and you kind of turn right around and get the kill onto I'm Just Toasty.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate for Toasty, getting a little too far ahead of his team, but on the back end, Sneaky blinks in, deletes Cameron, finishing him off with the ultimate. And now Catalyst finding himself in trouble. Oh, sword. Hitting the snipe, but not able to continue on, it looks like.
Although it does look like they might wrap around this backhand side. They do need to be careful though, because Toasty is back and he does have an ultimate at his disposal. Marcus Golden Crow put on to Catalyst. Although the ultimate from Toasty is going to drag 2 right into the tower. Sneaky does take 2 shots. He'll be okay. But Penny is making the rotation, uses the dash, and trying to evade and punish, misses it unfortunately, so Sneaky is going to take a bit of that poke, but Penny's taking even more. Final Judgment has been used, but Penny is getting so low. FC is even lower though. Dashed in from the round and up into the sky with the snipes. 1, and Penny will get the last hit there.
Man, I don't know, that looks like a pretty typical Toth player to me. He just, unfortunately Cameron feels like he wasted it. It did get him low enough for Penny to finish. The second snipe probably would have been on point to finish him up himself. But because of this, Catalyst is just able to put more pressure into the mid lane. And this is going to be some good tower poke coming out.
Yeah, I mean, that left-hand side tower is already at about 25% HP. The pressure coming out of the dual lane on the side of Alter Ego has just been insane. And Sneaky has certainly been showing his power in the jungle right now, making that constant rotation and just reminding that left-hand side that, hey, I'm the Batman. You should be scared of me.
Yeah, and they definitely have to respect this Kamizots, but with Penny coming out to level 8, and I mean, really, this is pretty big. You have an Ardio and a Toth level 8 now. They've caught up pretty well to Sneaky, even though other members of Arena mains have not. But Cameron just taking a little more CC. This is going to be a problem if this continues to go this way, especially with Kamizots having this lead. I mean, this pressure just seems to be getting handed to Alter Ego at this point. Yeah,
I mean, really, Kamizots has been doing such a great job in placing the pressure exactly where he wants it. I'm Just Toasty goes down to the dash control on the left-hand side. Terrell has been popped. Soul gets a double kill there with the damage from the Terrell, and right now the aggression doesn't seem to want to be over as Kamizots and Uller make the rotation. The bounce was almost good enough. Blink in from Sneaky to finish him off, and that's going to be level 10 for the Bat. Excellent rotation there from Sneaky.
This is one of those feels bad moment for the jungler because Catalyst was trying to come in on the backside, turn things around for his dual lane, but he was a little too late on his rotation, so he only shows up as his dual lane falls, catching himself out, and as you said before, Yami hitting the beautiful bounce to put him at 1 HP. This Sneaky just doing what he's been doing. Blink, hitting everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really touched on this yet, but Terra saw a bit of changes in this last patch. So just describe to me kind of what's really different about her ultimate, and why do we see her doing a ton more damage this patch than she has before?
Yes, the Terra, due to the change, or not the Terra, why am I saying Terra here? Come on. The Terra, wait.
Yes, Terra.
Yeah,
Terra
I'm
is the
having one of those
character
days right now.
Ooh, almost a nice bounce there from Yukana, but unfortunately does not get the turbo bounce onto camera. Marcus Golden Crow was there, but just very slightly off the mark. He didn't really walk into it there, but let's get back to what you were saying about Terra. What changed about her ultimate, and how is it better or worse?
With the Terra ultimate, they decided that they wanted to change a few things because they didn't like where she was sitting in the meta. They, High Res likes to bring characters back in so they can be played a little bit more, and they decided let her do something that affects the enemies and not just her team. So this debuff that gets provided is actually pretty good. Even though it's an ultimate, it's a lot of people maybe you should expect more. No, it's pretty good because when you're fighting, a debuff on the enemy team just takes so much and makes it so much harder to fight, especially when you're ahead.
Hold that thought though. Catalyst on his left-hand side jumps down onto Yukana, but actually falls down to Yukana. The sniper from Cameron will pick Yukana up in return. Still pops the ultimate, and Penny gets bursted by the ultimate there from Soul, and Sneaky goes around on this backhand side with the bat out of hell to grab the final kill there. Like, Cameron is stuck here. Minions are pouring into the tower, and Sneaky is not done just yet. Excellent axe from FT Sword to grab the kill, and that will finish off this entire left-hand side here, including the jungler for Arena Mains. And right now it's looking a little grim. We're only 11 minutes in, but we're seeing about a 4K lead. And right now, with the healing from Terra, it looks like Arena Mains are going to go straight, Alter Ego are going to go straight for this gold fury.
Yeah, that fight just shows what I was talking about with the Terra ultimate, the debuff and the 10% extra damage that you get onto enemies. It's just so much burst, and especially because they have this lead, especially Sneaky right now, it just makes it so hard for Arena Mains to fight under any of their towers, especially on that side of the map. Already being pressured from beyond, taking damage beforehand, I mean, it's just stacking up even further.
I mean, and like we were talking about a bit, the changes to Terra have made it so that your team can dive so incredibly easily, giving them that nice damage mitigation, as well as giving the enemies a damage increase, actually, in what they take. So, being able to pop that on your teammates and the enemy just allows this Camazotz to go absolutely beast mode under tower. Right now we see that Sol has made the return over to the left-hand side. Beats popped there by Cam, but he is going to go up in the sky. Right now Yukana is up in the air as well, popping the ultimate, trying to catch Cameron, but Dash comes out. Needs to hit the ricochet, does. Excellent job there by Yukana to grab Cameron on the backhand side. With Blink in here and Catalyst trying to fight Yukana on this backhand side. Yukana is right now forced in the middle of 3, but on the backhand side is FP Sword, and over the wall comes Sneaky to finish him off. FP Sword grabs the kill, but Catalyst finds Yukana finally, but FP Sword and Soul are not going to let him go. Sneaky is there, nice wall from Soul, grabs the kill for himself.
Yeah, a lot of that fight that we just got to witness there was yet again the Terra ultimate being popped. Yukon getting the heal from the 4 stones being hit off of him, giving him just that little bit extra time to keep going, and Catalyst just wanted to keep going and going, but unfortunately, rest of all, or Ego get to make the rotation over, and Sword and Sneaky come right behind Penny. He falls very quickly.
Excellent decision there from Sneaky to withhold from the team fight for just a couple of moments to get Penny completely unaware that he was there, and that Lincoln just completely shocked him, and he just fell right on down. And once again, just gotta bring it up. Terra right now, 4-1-8. When have we ever seen Terra get this many kills in this little time? Never. I mean, never.
I mean, to be fair, she was one of the strongest solo laners in Smite at one point.
Yeah, okay, solo, but this is support game. This is support.
Support's not supposed to take kills.
I mean, she's third on the damage chart. She's ahead of the Camazotz.
I think Soul's just playing selfishly here. His only aura is Gauntlet of Thieves, and then he went Voidstone. I think he wants to increase his own damage.
I mean, he understands that Terra ult does a ton of damage, and by getting that item, he is grabbing a bit of protection for himself, and he is going to limit the magical defense of his opponents. But I mean, the communication here between Dishonored and Soul, it must be a little bit off, because both of them seems to be going for Void Stone, and unfortunately, that aura does not stack as much as you would hope and pray that it does. But Catalyst needs to be careful here. By the Orc Larvae, he does seem to get them, but Sneaky jumping and forcing out that ultimate from the Robin. But Toasty needs to be even more careful here because he's got 2 hunters on his butt. But Catalyst having the support here from his Thoth is going to be okay. Sneaky is taking a lot of hope, but the Thoth ultimate is going to be not used here since he was just blatantly out of range.
Oh, Sword with the great stun combo, just deleting Penny in the matter of a second. And you
Shot on the left-hand side, must find him as well. Toasty pops the sprint to try and get away. Catalyst is there on the backhand side. Aegis comes out of Yukana, but is currently sitting in the air to try and get away from this Cerberus, but Catalyst finishes him off, and Alter Ego are not happy about that. FP Sword finds Catalyst, and Toasty needs to run away. Sprint has been popped, and Soul is almost on the mark there with the stun there, but not quite close enough. Toasty will live, but at the cost of pretty much his entire team.
Yeah, and back to your point about this Void Stone with both the solo and support having this. The only reason I don't mind this is because that is the first time I've seen Dishonored rotate from his lane. He has been non-stop keeping Sarcasm over in that lane busy and actually just proxy farming between the tier 2 that he's going to need it when they stay so far apart. And speaking of Sarcasm, just solo Sneaky. Feels bad, man, for him there.
I mean, that was a well-deserved laugh span. when you kill the single, okay, probably the single most, you know, damaging, well, not damaging in the terms of play damage, but I'm gonna hold that thought for a second here, as Soul and FT Sword are trying to get away here on this left-hand side. Gold Fury is up, but back to what I was saying before, when you're killing the initiator of all of these fights as the solo laner who hasn't really ever been in these fights, you're gonna feel pretty good about that. And right now, Alter Ego feeling pretty good as they're trying to take down Gold Fury, but great stun from FT Sword and almost good enough walls. Slightly off the mark here, the Ram ult was used a little too early in this engagement. He's gotta be careful though because Soul is taking a ton of damage from Penny. Penny still is holding on to this Thoth ultimate. Final Judgment will be charged up right now as Catalyst has already used his ultimate, and it does fire out, hitting FT Sword for about half its health. And that's just gonna make the rest of Alter Ego dump right on back to their base.
At least that's what they wanted them to believe, but Alter Ego needs to be careful. We have a Cerberus coming in. Toasty does have his ultimate. He's going to pop it on the Gold Fury. Penny click sword.
What?
Toasty getting you caught. Okay, I don't know what's going on with supports, but kills are happening for supports in this game.
That was, I mean, that clear up there from Toasty, just amazing. Great job by him to make it into this fight and realize that he could hold both of those hunters right off into Penny's damage, and great job for Penny for sticking around there when Cameron went back to base.
Yeah, and it was a very close call on him finishing that back or not. Alter Ego going in back in a little too, and instead of trying to kill Penny, they end up falling themselves. Gold Fury did not get stolen though, which is good, but
I think he needs to be careful. He was going pretty ham on that middle lane, but Penny showed up just in time to save Catalyst's life, and the Robin's going to be happy to go on and take that speed buff. But on the left-hand side, tower went down as well. So right now, we're just going to take a look at the graphs. The lead has been going up over 6K, but now we're sitting at only 5.5K. Excuse me, 4.5K. And that's starting to get a little bit more manageable. I mean, it's still kind of out of control considering that, you know, the bat has been doing work except for when he's getting picked by RDO and no thoughts, but that's just him getting a little cocky here, but he can certainly turn this bit around. They can start to get a little more organized and probably play pretty well around this Gold Fury. So talk to me a bit about what has to happen here for this Gold Fury to be taken away on the team of Arena Mains.
well, as of right now, Arena Mains are actually doing what they need to do, getting vision, starting to set up around it, and kind of push Alter Ego from any thoughts of doing it. But they need to make sure that they play it smart as well. I would like to see a ward a little bit deeper on the other side of damage or somewhere, so that they can see people incoming. Because, I mean, just taking a look at where
in the middle lane, sprint has been popped. Star System goes on Dishonored here and tries to chase out FT Sword, especially with the damage coming out of the Thoth. Luck in onto the RDO, brings her in the middle of 4. Right now, she is taking about half her health of damage. Terra ult is popped though, so everyone's gonna be safe, but Cerberus ult is coming in return, but nobody's there to follow up. Right now, Penny getting sneaked out by Dishonor on the backhand side. Sneaky finally finds a last hit on Catalyst, and Cameron gets past there with no help from either of his tanks.
Yeah, and Dishonor doing a great job of getting the backline off. And this is what Alter Ego are going to get this goal for free, as Sneaky is just keeping too distracted on his own. Still needs to be careful because he's already been soloed by RDO once. Taking a lot of damage just to get the Gold Fury. Healing up just a little bit though. And now we have Dishonored back in. So Sneaky is able to run away with his ultimate. And now he looks like he's going to be safely gone.
Yeah, but it looks like the rest of Alter Ego wants to do this Pyromancer here. Dishonored is totally okay on the backhand side, but he needs to start coming to his friends because they might be in trouble here. Unfortunately, Penny could not get the stun onto Sneaky, so Sneaky will sneak on back to the back camps. And it looks like there's no real response here from Arena Mains as both of the Hunters come and take down this tier 1 tower in the solo side.
Yeah, and this is just absolute good job from Soul and Dishonored. They keep rotating on zoning, and even Sneaky gets in there to do it himself. And it's just the point where you have Penny and Toast and Cameron who aren't really wanting to get involved in fights at this point anymore, including Catalyst. Catalyst at this point thought he had the advantage as the jungler, but Sneaky came out and just started deleting god after god on his team. And I mean, this kind of pressure has just become absolutely insane. And now Cameron on this left side needs to be careful. He's pushing way far up without any wards.
Yeah, I mean, just to put this into consideration, the lowest level that we've got on Alter Ego, which is the order side, okay, we got it, don't worry, is 12. The highest on Arena Mains, the Chaos side, is 19. Oh, Cameron, really nice job there getting back in time before, oh, you could get that ricochet off. But what I meant by this is, there's a humongous XP difference here. We're seeing almost 10k, 10.5k actually, between the two teams. It's starting to get to the point where the abilities on the side of Alter Ego really aren't hurting you as much as they really need to be. And that's mostly because they don't have the levels.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just going absolutely insane for Arena Mains. They're getting what they want, and Penny letting go of the Glyphs of Pain, and this fight, even with the damage he's getting off, is going against him now. Sneaky deleting Penny with the ultimate. You count it, getting Catalyst. And Sword, 1 health is just starting to heal back up off the camp. But
Cameron is there. He might get the kill. Jump from the Uller, but one more hit's gonna do it, and Cameron does find the kill. He needs to be careful here though, because Soul is on the backhand side, followed by Sneaky. Although they are going to turn around right back onto this cardio and maybe onto the Cerberus as well. Stun and dash, come on out. But Cameron still hanging around here on this backhand side, so taking almost a little bit more than he can handle. And Sarcasm does find the kill. Jump in from Sneaky. Sarcasm is so low. One more hit's gonna do it. He's gonna fall down Dishonored. Flex the Hunter right back into the tower, but Toasty finds the kill. Where was Yukata during this whole fight?
Yukata was taking a tier 2 tower over on the left-hand side of the map, pushing minions up towards the Phoenix, which honestly is a good thing. Even though his teammates fell, he did get it. Sneaky, oh no, getting a little bit greedy for that speed buff on the enemy side. Cameron just absolutely deleting him, just surviving.
And I mean, this is the kind of comeback Cameron really needs, because he's sitting 2 levels down either of the enemy hunters, and that's just not gonna cut it as the lone hunter and really the lone physical damage here. He's really going to be the only one in the late game who has that ranged physical damage. And between him and Catalyst, they're not really doing enough. I mean, we're seeing Sneaky go up to almost 20k damage right now, and both the hunters are between 12k and 18k. And right now, on this left-hand side, Catalyst is getting chased down by Empty Sword, and without a speed buff, Catalyst is just going to have to try and run for his life. But with the rest of his team rotating, it looks like the 2 hunters are gonna have to back up here. Catalyst will not be the catalyst for this team fight.
Yeah, no, and to your point of Catalyst not really putting out a lot of damage, because right now, his damage is coming out from his boots and from Crusher. He decided to go breastplate and Hide of the Nemean, which unfortunately, even though it is good physical defense, there's no crit coming out from Yukane or Sword. So having that's a little iffy.
Right now on this right-hand side, Sarcasm in between three, taking a little teeny bit of poke, but he'll be just on fine. He'll probably heal it back up between his abilities, and as a could collect in again is going to be Sarcasm, and Sarcasm needs to be careful here. Dash expended from Penny, and he's going to have to try and use it to keep the Sobek away, but Sprint has been popped. They're going to chase down Penny, and Penny is right in the middle of two without any way to get out. Sneaky grabs Penny, and they're gonna still keep going in. Alter Ego needs to run away. Catalyst is stuck, but I'm just Toasty tries to find a nice rotation there, turnaround with the ultimate, but flex back into tower, and that's just gonna be 4 for 1. Cameron has been pushing out the left-hand side, but I mean, this is a happy to make because, you know, they really trust his ability to keep this ROM off the Phoenix. And even though they lost these towers, they're getting so much in return. They're getting the Fire Giant. That's completely worth.
Yeah, and especially since he's only evening out the left-hand side of the map in terms of towers. With FT Sword backing, you can't get anything more off of it, so you're not getting a Phoenix. Fire Giant goes the way of Arena Mains. They're going to take this tier 2 tower now. So, although the split push is good.
Oh, Cameron needs to be careful though. He's backing on a ward on this left-hand side. Cameron will be able to get away now because FT Sword wants to farm up in the middle lane, trying to save that tier 1 tower, while the rest of his team does the Pyromancer. Gold Fury is available, but Sneaky has returned to base right next to Dishonored, and Pyromancer finally finished. FT Sword's probably gonna go and do the Gold Fury right on by himself. He should be just okay.
Yeah, having Bloodforge, Crusher, and Transcendence, he's going to be doing more than enough damage to this Gold Fury on his own. The sustain will be there. But Catalyst, ulting in onto Sword, trying to steal it away, not nearly in time. Doing damage, but having to back off, not wanting to risk getting picked off by Arena Mans.
Alright, now Alter Ego is going to need to have quite a bit to come back here. They are sitting pretty far behind him. They've only got one tier 1 tower left on the board. I mean, 14k is quite a lead to have, but 27 minutes in, not quite as early as the last set that we saw. So this kind of lead can be come back from if you just continue to stall it under your Phoenixes, and that's what they've really got to do here. I don't really see them being able to fight under that tier 2 tower, do you?
No, this tier 2 tower should go free to Arena Mains. No questions asked. Fighting under it would be absolutely useless for Alter Ego, especially considering no one has Emperor's Guard, so it's not like that tower is going to be doing any extra damage for you.
Right now, it's just going to be a game of turtling. How long can Alter Ego sit under these Phoenixes without them being taken away? And considering the fact that Arena Mains have 2 Hunters, I'm not too sure how long it's going to be.
It's going to be very hard. They're going to have to rely very heavily on Penny with the Toth ultimate just to be able to force them to back off because they're down 17k gold right now.
That's not a low number by any means. Sarcasm trying to maintain the front line there, but, you know, all ultimates are available on either side now, with FT Sword not really having one, but neither does the Ardio, so 4 for 4 ultimates available on either side right now. Sneaky's going to go and split up this fight just a little bit by pushing up the middle wave. Of course, the right-hand side is going to pop the ultimate just in time for Toasty as well. Right now, the Thoth ultimate is being lined up, fired. It's nobody, and so it's going to be diving to the backhand side with Connor. Cam goes up in the sky, trying to find some damage under Yukon. Gets 2 hits, and Sarcasm is trying to push on back, but this Phoenix is starting to get lower and lower, and Sarcasm is lower and lower, and he will end up falling down there to Yukana, while Sneaky gets another kill on this backhand side. Sneaky is going to continue to chase after Penny as the team barrels into the Titan room. Catalyst, the only one left standing other than Toasty, and is almost taken down here by that bat from Sneaky, but the Titan is next, and it does go down. Even though the Titan does get a little cheeky kill on the shoulder at the end, but that is going to be the game. And congratulations to Arena Main for advancing on to the finals here in this week's battle for Asgard.
Yeah, that was just a really good fight on the side of Arena Main's alter ego. Unfortunately, Toasty getting pulled out, tried getting a good ultimate off, unable to thanks to beads. And as you said, Penny missing the ult with Yukane leaping right over it, just able to continue all aggression, and Sneaky, just absolute monster this game.
Absolutely, Sneaky was the catalyst, unlike Catalyst, in this game to really snowball the lead forward for the rest of his team, going 12-3-7. Excellent work on behalf of the jungler on the side of Arena Mains, and they will be your representatives here in Battle for Asgard in the finals. And we will go straight to them in just a couple of minutes.